everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we are starting on our next adventure. We are going to be making Kimberbell's Red, White, and Bloom quilt. Isn't this cute? There are so many fun embellishments and 3D aspects on this project. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you join me on this sew along. It's going to be a really cute project when we're all done. So I will be showing you step by step all the way through this project how to make each individual block, how to sew it together, the whole thing. If you've watched any of my other videos, we just did the Main Street Celebration wall hanging that was by Kimberbell, and you'll see my technique. I literally walk you through every step of the process because I want you to be successful in making this, and I want you to make it and to finish it. I don't want this to be a UFO in a drawer somewhere because you get stuck at a particular part. So I'm going to help you through everything. So we're going to be doing this video series a little bit differently. It's not going to be like week 1, week 2. I'm actually going to break this up into smaller videos, and each video is going to focus on a particular part of the process. So you can watch them as you will. Whenever you get to that process, that video will be out there for you or be posted very shortly. It will allow me to be able to post a little bit quicker, I think, rather than doing, the hour to 2 hour videos that are very intensive to film and to edit. This, I think, is going to make your viewing more enjoyable and help speed the process along as well, so I can get these out to you a little bit faster. So today's video will be pretty short and sweet. We are going to talk about the supplies. What do you need in order to be able to start this project? Because you're going to have to go out and perhaps order some supplies, and that'll give you time to get them in hand. So the first thing you're going to need is the Kimberbell Red, White, and Bloom, either the machine embroidery version book or the sewing version book. The difference with the machine embroidery is it will come with a CD, which will have the machine embroidery designs on them, and you'll use your embroidery machine to stitch out the projects. The other book is a sewing book, which will have the patterns and the applique pages that you will use to draw out and to create the applique pieces. So choose whichever format you would like. You'll need this book. I believe on the machine embroidery CD here, this handout, this booklet is not on the CD. So you will need this booklet as you proceed through the project as well. So that's the first thing that you're going to need is the book, either the machine embroidery or the sewing. Okay, the second thing that you don't need, but I highly recommend, is the Kimberbell Red, White, and Bloom embellishment kit. This is for the quilt. This kit has so many cute add-ons. It's definitely worth the price. You get the glitter sheets, which add so much fun and excitement to the project. You get organza, there's mylar, there's these little red pom-poms. You get the fairy lights, which are important if you want to add the fairy lights to this project. You get the cute, adorable summer buttons. Let's turn it over on the back here. You get 2 fairy lights that are warm yellow color, 7 feet. You get red, white, and bloom buttons, set of 5. You get some Kimberbell mini bouquets, which are these here that you pull and will turn into the flowers, which are right here on the project. Can you see those flowers? Okay. You're going to get a blue applique glitter, red applique glitter, white applique glitter. You're going to get red embroidery leather, a 3x3 of mylar in gold, mylar iridescent, sweetest candy clear vinyl. Oh, that's going to be fun because that's what we use for the windows and I believe for the fairy light jars. Glitter dot organza, some twine, crochet edge, gingham button, and a white button, a polka dot button, wool felt balls, white embroidery topping, and flexi foam. So if you can get this embellishment kit, this will make this project just go to the top level of cuteness, because everything we're going to add on there is included in this kit. So I highly recommend you get the embellishment kit if you can. So the book and the kit. The next is going to be the fabric. Now, Kimberbell does have a fabric kit for this. Unfortunately, my supplier has been sold out for a long time. There are some stores out there that still have it. So if you can dig around when you're shopping and you like this fabric selection, then there is a fabric kit out there for you. Okay, that has some really cute fabrics in there. But since I wasn't able to get it, and I do have fabrics in my stash, I'm also going to be showing you in the next video series of this project how to use your own fabrics in making this project. Now, I have this really cute fat quarter bundle that is all patriotic. It has fireworks and flags and stars and stripes. And I think this is going to be a really cute set of fabrics to use with this. So I've checked with the size fabrics, and a fat quarter set will work on this because you're not using that many large pieces. The largest pieces that we're going to have are going to be the background fabrics. And so I have some other fabrics in my collection I will use, so like a dark blue, similar to what we did on Main Street, and some reds. But then everything else is going to be this fat quarter. So if you have a fun fat quarter set that you have access to with a couple side fabrics like red, white, and blue, you could use a fun fat quarter set in place of the fabric kit. So I'm all for using your stash if you have it. And don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to walk you through in the next video how to select the fabrics to replace each one of these, and then again how to cut and prepare all the fabrics. So we'll go through all that, so it won't be that hard. Okay, so you need fabric in addition to this to make the project. So those are your essentials of the project itself. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the sewing and quilting essentials that you're going to need in order to also make this project. Most of these you should have on hand, but if you don't, then you've got some time to get them. The first thing you're going to need is a cutting mat. Okay, so you want one that's at least 24 inches by 18. It's a good table size cutting mat, travels as you go and fits on most tables. The second type of cutting mat, if you can get one, is a rotating cutting mat. These are amazing and will come in so handy when we go to trim up your finished blocks. Okay, because you can literally rotate it, make your cut, spin it around, rotate it, make your cut, and not have to worry about doing this with a larger mat and then your fabric's not going to move. So if you can get one of these, they're available at most quilting stores or even on Amazon. This one is by Olfa. If you can get one of these, I highly recommend it for when we cut the blocks. Okay. Speaking of cutting the blocks, you need some rulers. Okay. If you can get these rulers, I highly recommend it as well. These are the Orange Pop rulers by Kimberbell. And this set I've used already. This set, you can tell, is brand new. I haven't yet. This is the set we used for the Main Street project. This is the rectangle set. Okay, actually I have it upside down, but you can't really tell. There we go. Okay, so this has like a cut size that's 4.5 by 6.5. We're going to be using this one a lot in this project. So that's a crucial one. This one's 6.5 by 8.5. And this larger one is 8.5 by 10.5. Okay. So we definitely want to get this if you can. It will come with little sticky dots that you'll place on the back yourself so that when it goes onto your mat, it doesn't move. The mat wants to move. The ruler doesn't want to move. So this rectangle set is a must-have if you can do it. We can also do it with regular rulers. This will just make your life a little bit easier. And we're going to be cutting a lot of blocks. So that's the rectangle set. The same thing for the square, because this project has both rectangle blocks and square blocks. So if you can get both of these sets, these are going to be something that you're going to use a lot in the future if you continue to do the Kimberbell projects, because they're really nice. They have it constructed for the size blocks that they use in their projects. So if you're going to do this project, Red, White, and Bloom, if you're going to do the upcoming candy corn quilt, which I'm really excited for too, that's going to be coming out, I think, the end of this month or beginning of next month, August. It's a Halloween quilt. That's, again, going to be something you'll really want to have these rulers. So they will be an investment, but if you keep doing Kimberbell projects, they're more than worth the investment. So you'll need those. Okay. The other rulers I recommend, which I love, are the Quilters Select rulers. There's a lot of other rulers out there, and I started with them. OmniGrid's a good ruler company. They have some really nice rulers, and I have all those. But then I found Quilter Select. And the thing about Quilter Select is they have this special coating on the back of them. So when you go and make your cutting, the ruler doesn't move. You still have to apply some pressure. You can use your hand very lightly on this though, and it doesn't move. So I am now in love with the Quilter Select. If you can invest a little bit in these in the future, that is something I highly recommend. If not, use what you have. I used the OmniGrids for a long time, and I had one of those handle grippies on it so I could put pressure down and keep my hands out of the realm of the cutting world. And it worked just fine. But these are just the next step up if you can. Whatever you have, you need 3 different sizes of rulers. You need a 6 by 24 inch. This is for when you're cutting off of a bolt of fabric or cutting your large pieces. This is a good size to have in your collection. Then my next 2 favorite sizes. This is a 6 by 12. Use this for cutting out your blocks, for cutting out all the small pieces of fabric that we're going to be doing. And the same size is a 6 by 3. Also very nice, quick, easy to pick up, make your small cuts. So I use these rulers a lot. These are kind of my standard for cutting of any size of pieces, but definitely for the Kimberbell, because when you're cutting as much as we're going to be cutting here in the next video, these 2 are nice and easy to pick up, or this one's a little bit heavier and a little bit more bulky to move around. These 2 work great for the smaller blocks. So again, a 6 by 24 for cutting off the bolt or cutting a larger piece of fabric. And then if you can, a 6 by 12 and a 6 by 3 ruler would be great to have in your arsenal for this project. Okay, so now on to storage. They recommend in the beginning of this book, when we go to cut the fabric, they recommend a plastic storage system. This works really well. So you're labeling the bags based on these block names, and then when we cut the fabric, we're going to be inserting them into the bags. Now, I did this for a long time, and it works great, but then you've got bags that are permanently labeled with a Sharpie that says Relish Today on it, and then you got to scratch it out and try to reuse it for each project, and it has a limited amount of reuse. So, I found these. Let me get a few more. Let me just get the whole pile. I found these folders on Amazon, and they're actually used for classroom projects where you can put in a multiplication table and your child can use a wet erase marker and do their calculation on this, and it can be wiped clean, and it saves the actual inside piece to be reused over and over and over again. Well, these are great for quilting projects. So what you need is a collection, or you could just use black, but I have a collection so I could be fun and color coordinate, of dry erase markers. So all you need to do is get a Expo dry erase marker. Dry erase is very important. And this one is low odor, so it doesn't really stink that much, and ultra fine, so it works just like a regular pen. Make sure they're dry erase. And then the first block on here we want to put down is watermelon 1, 2, 3. You can see what this does if the black works. There we go. Watermelon 1, 2, 3. All right, got to get that black one moving here. Yeah, I got a dead black one. That's okay. So I went with blue. Still easy to read. You can kind of see it there. So that way, they're dry erase. You label them, and then you can turn around, and when they're done, wipe them off. Okay? So that way you reuse this over and over and over again. When we cut our blocks, we put them in. Easy to get in there, but they'll stay. I bought a collection of 36. They come in different size collections. So I would definitely have enough. You can see all the fun colors that they come in. But I figured a set of 36 would give me enough because this project alone takes 23 of them. So then I would have plenty no matter what I'm working on. So these are a really good investment. They weren't that expensive. I can't remember right off the hand how much they were. But they have different ones on there. Just look for ones that have quality edges that look like they're well stitched. This one was by Adore You, and I liked the quality. Plus it had a cute little tag that kind of looked like a dog on it. But I liked the quality of the stitching. If you look closely at the pictures of some of the other ones on Amazon, the stitching's not that great. I wanted it to be well made so they'll hold up for many, many projects. Then I have to still order a large clip, like a 3-inch clip. And then you can literally put these through that like a notebook ring, and they would be all together. And then you could just literally flip through and get the ones that you need. So I love these for projects. I just need to get the clip and try that technique. But these are great to have for projects like this. So if you get a set of those, that would be great. Otherwise, you need at least 23 fairly large Ziploc bags. I would recommend the quart for some and the gallon for some other ones. But you might be able to get away with the quart size. The sandwich bags will be too small. But I'd say the quart size would be pretty much good for almost all of this except the Firefly jar, because those are 12.5 inches tall. You might need a gallon size for that one. But you will need some sort of baggie system, storage, and some dry erase markers if you want to use the reusable bag system. Okay, so we got those going on. All right, so the next thing that we need is we need some fusible to go onto the back of the fabric. Once we get to that step, you're going to have to press open all your fat quarters if you're using it, or your pieces in the Kimberbell kit, and get all the creases and lines out, and then we're going to fuse the backing of some of these pieces. And I use, it's kind of hard to see here. See if I can bend it. Can you see it? There you go. I use Palon Ultra Weft 860F. This is my go-to for backing and supporting all of my embroidery projects. I do a lot of Anita Good design, a lot of their quilts, a lot of their blocks, a lot of Kimberbell, and all of those work beautifully with the 860 Ultra Weft. What does this do? This basically, when you fuse it to the back of your cotton, gives it the cotton extra stability so that it can support all those other stitches. You're still going to need stabilizer in the hoop, but this, consider it as your strengthening, your toughening up of the cotton fabric, because this cotton fabric takes a lot of hit when you do a machine embroidery and it does all those tight stitches. So this will tend to pull. This helps stabilize and prevent that. And the main thing is it helps keep the puckering away. The more stitches you do on the embroidery machine, the more puckering issues you can have. But I have not had that many puckering issues since I started backing all of my background fabrics and the large applique, if they're going to have embroidery on top of it too, with this 860 Ultra Weft. As you can tell, I use the bolt. I actually get this on sale at Joann's when they have their like Thanksgiving sale, and they put 60% off of their stabilizers. Then I grab a bolt of this because I use it a lot. So I have no qualms with going through a bolt. And I think on the bolt you get 25 yards. So it's more than ample to keep me going for at least a year. Okay, so again, Thanksgiving, their Christmas sales. Once in a while during the spring, they'll do a 60% off, but definitely get that if you can. Or get that from your stash, or get that to support the back of your cotton fabric. Okay, the other stabilizing thing that you'll need is some poly no-show mesh. Okay, this I get by the roll, and it's great. I love it. It has good quality, and this is what you're going to be putting into the hoop. This again will help support that fusible with your cotton and have you come out with beautiful embroidery. If you're doing a project that says, oh, there's going to be like 40,000 stitches, you could probably use one. But if you're getting close to 40 or going over 40, I would definitely use 2 sheets of this to give it that extra support. And I would even crisscross it. So I would have one this way in the hoop and then one this way in the hoop. These rolls come in different sizes. For the most part, the blocks on this project are not that large, so you'll be able to get away with a 12-inch roll. It's always good in your stash if you have the larger roll as well. I think there's one that's a 20-inch long roll. I use that once in a while, but for this project, I think we can pretty much get away with using the 12-inch long, or 12-inch wide, and then we can cut it as long as we need it. So you need some no-show mesh, specifically poly no-show mesh. Any brand, it could be Kimberbell's, it could be I think it's World Widener. There's other companies that make it as well. Just get a nice quality poly no-show mesh and you'll be fine with that. Okay, so the other piece that we need, this is going to look really weird. Why is this thing in a plastic bag? We need some wash away stabilizer. That's why it's in a plastic bag. I don't want any moisture to get to this stuff. This is a topper. So this is actually Floriani Wet and Gone Water Soluble Stabilizer. We're going to be using this when it comes to, I believe it's, there's 2 pieces in here that we need it for. Hang on, bear with me 1 minute. We need it for the Dimensional Mylar Lemons and the Patriotic Pinwheels. Both of those will use wash away stabilizer. So you don't need a lot of this. In fact, some of these scraps might be too small. This piece might work. But what this wash away does is it literally dissolves in water. So that's why I keep it wrapped up in a Ziploc bag so that it doesn't get wet by any type of moisture in the air, because it will literally dissolve. So you need some wash away stabilizer, and I highly recommend storing it in a plastic bag. Doesn't look pretty, but you know what? It serves the purpose for what we need it for. So that is something that we need. We don't need a lot of, but I would say you would need at least 12 inches, because the Mylar Lemons, you're going to be probably done in a 4x4 hoop. So you could probably get away with like 12 inches. Easy peasy. Okay, and then seal that baby back up. Okay, we're good. So that is it for the stabilizers. Now we're going to go to a few more essential tools that you're going to need to do this project. Okay, your scissors, you need 2 pairs of scissors. This one is an Olfa set of scissors, and I use this at my embroidery machine to do all the trimming of the threads. When I load thread, if there's a straggler thread on there, they're nice and sharp, but they're small and they have large finger holds because I have large hands. So they're very, very comfortable to use. These are by Olfa. Love those. Been using those for years. Got to have something like that. And then this is also a Havels, Havels pair of scissors. I got these on Amazon. I love these. Same thing, large finger holds, but they're slightly curved. These are wonderful to use when you're trimming your batting, which is one thing we'll get to in here in a second. Because you want to be able to trim upwards. You don't want to poke through the project. You want to have it come up. So I use this when I trim all of my batting and my applique pieces. Very important to have a pair of curved up scissors. Okay. Speaking of batting, you will need your favorite batting. Okay. Now there's 2 ways to quilt this project. One, you can quilt after all the projects put together, and then you can go around in your machine and you can do like stipples or any other designs that you want to do around all this. What I find is easier is to actually quilt as you go. And we're going to talk about this in the next video. But you're able to pre-quilt these blocks before you stitch out any of the embroidery and do any of the applique. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your favorite batting, and we're actually going to go through cutting instructions next video and how to cut your batting into pieces so that they're ready to add to your machine before you do all of this intense applique. So when you come out of your embroidery machine, you're going to literally have a finished block with batting on it. Then when we go to put the quilt together, all you're doing is sewing these blocks together, add your backing on, and then I just stitch in the ditch to attach the 2, and you're done. So that's the method I prefer when doing the machine embroidery. And this is video, sorry, I forgot to mention, we're going to be doing the machine embroidery version of this project. So I'm going to have some batting pre-cut. Again, we'll go over that next video. Just for right now, make sure you have a good supply of your favorite batting. This is Warm and Natural. It's kind of my go-to when I do any type of machine embroidery. It has a very nice lift to it, but not too much. And it just adds a really nice texture and a little bit of warmth to the quilt as well. That's why I call Warm and Natural. Okay, so this project is going to be 40 by 40. So make sure you have at least that much. I usually have a package of queen size or twin size on hand that I can cut from. So that will be something that you will need, is your favorite batting. Okay, a few more things that are essential for this project. We're going to need, unfortunately, a seam ripper. It's not our favorite friend, but I like this one because I have large hands and it's easy for me to hang on to. It's something that's a little bit wider, has nice thumb grips. I think this is a Dritz. Yes, it's a Dritz. Seam ripper, we're going to need one of those. You need a rotary cutter. Okay, recommend the 45 millimeter. You don't need the large 60. A 45 is fine. Make sure it has some sort of a safety on it to protect yourself. When you just a latch that goes down, you make your cut and then you put it back up. There's other ones that have a push button and a back that comes up automatically. So safety, number 1. You will need a 1/4 inch foot. This 1/4 inch foot is going to come in really handy when we go to sew these blocks together. And see, it has that kind of a let me call it a ridge, but it's, what's the technical term for this? My mind just went. Anyway, it's like a guide that you'll put your fabric up against. As long as the fabric stays up against this metal guide, you will have a nice perfect 1/4 inch seam. So it's a 1/4 inch foot. You need one of those. You will need a USB flash drive. This is important because you're going to be getting the designs off the CD onto your computer. Then you need to get it off your computer and onto a USB to put into your embroidery machine. And I've had a request to do a video on that as well. So I will do a video on how to get your designs off of your computer onto your machine. Because you don't need all the designs. You just need the designs that are specifically the extension for your computer. Like I have a Brother Dream machine. So my files are PES, P-E-S. So I only want to get the PES files off. So I will do a video on how to pull those designs off and on to a flash drive. So you need a flash drive. This one is a 16 gigabyte, nice size. Don't have to worry about running out of space on that. So you need a flash drive. Okay, I highly recommend Clover Clips. These are my favorite. Clover Clips, no pins, safe, no pain. Love them. Easy to open, secure. There's several other brands out there, but I find they're very difficult that are off brands to open. Clover Clips to me are just the best. They even have little markings on them, but for this project we just basically need them to help keep things together. So Clover Clips. We need thread. Sounds basic, right? But depending on the fabric that you choose to use for this project, you're going to want specific thread to match it. So in this case, let's do this. Red, white, and blue. And I may even get a lighter blue for this. What I've decided to do with this project is I want my quilting to blend in. I want all this embroidery, these fun embellishments, to be the star of the show, to be the items that pop. So I don't want to drown that out. I might put fancy quilting on the borders where there's no applique, but in the middle, I want all these embellishments to be the star of the show. So if it's a red fabric, I'm going to do red quilting. If it's a blue fabric, blue thread, blue quilting. White fabric, white or light. Because you really can't see their quilting, and it gives everything a finished look, but allows, those accents to do their thing, to be the star of the show. So on this fabric, I knew I basically was red, white, and blue, and it'll blend in like this red. I might go within my stash and get a slightly darker red, because this one matches there, but it might be too light for that, so I'll get a darker one for there. But get your threads that will match the fabric that you're using. And then on that note, you want some bobbin thread. Now this is a filament polyester bobbin thread. Okay, you just need white for this project. And then you need your bobbin case, and you need to pre-wind. I try to do 5 or 6 bobbins. If I'm really, gung-ho, I'll do about 10. Because it's easier to pre-wind them before you start the project and then just crank through the ones that you have and use them up, versus having to stop, undo your thread, put bobbin thread in just to do one spool. So I try to do between 5 and 10 of them at one time to have them ready to go. And that's my bobbin case. All right. And I think that is it. Yeah. We got rulers. We got the orange pop rulers. We have our other rulers, the Quilter Select or whatever rulers you have on hand. Cutting mats. We have the embellishment kits. We have all of our stabilizers that we need, batting. So I think that is a good selection here of the basic supplies, tools that you're going to need in order to do this project. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment below and I'll help you through it. So this will give you some time to order the book in either the sewing or the machine embroidery version, order your embellishment kit and any other supplies that you might need to have on hand. If you can get a hold of the fabric kit and you love these fabrics, try to get a hold of the fabric kit. If not, go to your stash. See if you have something fun that'll work for this. It doesn't have to be exactly how they create it, even though it's really stinking cute. But it doesn't have to be, because we can make our own and make it our own. Literally make it special, make it unique, and make it something that to us is one of a kind. And to me, that's even more special than a pre-done kit. Even though that's cool, you know, if you have the ability to do that and get your own stash, give it a try. Don't be scared. I will walk you through how to select the fabrics that will correspond with each area, and everything will be great. So I'm really excited to get started on this project. I hope you are too. Again, if you have any comments or any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel. That is the best way you can help support me, is to become a subscriber. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super excited. Can't wait. So that is just awesome to me. So thank you for all of you out there that have subscribed and are going to subscribe. I really thank you. So I hope you stay tuned. Come back again and join me here on Jolly Molly TV, where the next video we're going to work on fabric prep and cutting. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.